make sure that Harvey knows to stay quiet when he's on until he needs to talk. 30 seconds to air.
Good afternoon, welcome to Solent Sports News. It's 3 o'clock and I'm Robert O'Hanlon. The third round of the FA Cup draw takes place tonight, with Premier League and Championship sides becoming involved. Southampton is in the hat with ball number 36. They have an opportunity to draw teams such as Bournemouth, Portsmouth or even Marine, the team who beat Haben and Waterlooville on Sunday. Brain injury charity Headway has criticised the decision to allow David Luiz to play on following his head-on collision with Raul Jimenez. The accident occurred in the early stages of the game, with Jimenez suffering a fractured skull. Luiz, on the other hand, carried on until half-time, where he asked to be subbed off as he didn't feel comfortable heading the ball. Mikel Arteta has insisted his side followed the correct concussion protocols.
I am okay, sort of okay. Thank you very much for all the messages. I mean, I wasn't for the halo some years ago, but
they have some tests that they have to do before putting back on the pitch, and then David was just concerned about the cut, nothing else, and they will continue to do some checks obviously in the next few hours, but he was fine.
Former Celtic striker Andy Walker believes Neil Lennon deserves to be sacked as Celtic manager. This comes after Celtic was knocked out of the Scottish League Cup by Ross County on Sunday. Celtic have only 2 wins in their last 10 games and are currently 11 points behind Rangers. Andy Walker, however, doesn't believe Neil Lennon deserves a protest calling for his sacking.
I don't think he'll survive as a Celtic manager, but Neil Lennon has been demonised by far too many Scottish football supporters over the last number of years. This was a guy who was attacked as a Celtic manager at Tynecastle not so long ago. He's been demonised by fans of other clubs.
Romain Grosjean has praised the halo following his fiery crash in Bahrain yesterday. He crashed into a barrier 137 miles per hour with his car catching fire while he was still in the car. He was able to escape the inferno with minor burns. Grosjean has said he is feeling okay and believes the halo is the greatest thing for Formula 1.
I am okay, sort of okay. Thank you very much for all the messages. I mean, I wasn't for the halo some years ago, but I think it's the greatest thing that we've got for Formula 1, and without it I wouldn't be able to speak to you today.
England cricket captain Owen Morgan believes his side are progressing nicely in the run-up to the T20 World Cup. His side secured a 4-wicket victory over South Africa, giving them an unassailable 2-0 lead in the series. Morgan suggests he is getting closer to naming his first-choice lineup.
Probably the next one in India, where we potentially might have a full strength squad available for selection. We need to maximise that in terms of ironing out everybody's role within the team and guys feeling comfortable within that space in order to give us the best chance of winning.
The Women's Rugby World Cup will expand from 12 to 16 teams from the 2025 World Cup. There have been calls for an expansion since it's been revealed women make up 28% of global playing population. The news comes too late for the 2021 World Cup in New Zealand, who will continue to have 12 teams. Eddie Jones has suggested his side are yet to play their best rugby yet. England are preparing for the Autumn Nations Cup final against France on Sunday after they topped their group. Eddie has suggested this will be England's grand final this year when they play at Twickenham.
Yeah, well, for us it's more a chance to get better again. We don't feel like we've played our best rugby yet, so it's our last game. It's our grand final of 2020. So we want to make sure we put on our best performance.
Following his victory over the weekend against Nate Robinson, Jake Paul has called out Conor McGregor for a boxing fight. Many people are sceptical for the reasons behind it and whether there's any chance it will happen. One such person is Harvey Leonard, who joins us now. Harvey, what's your take on Jake Paul calling out Conor McGregor?
Well, honestly, I can't see it happening. I don't think there's a chance it would ever happen. Beating a retired basketball player with little to no boxing experience is one thing, but that's such a far cry from facing a former double UFC champion who's knocks out some of the best strikers in the world, like Jose Aldo, Chad Mendes. I just don't think Conor would even consider fighting him, especially when he has so much coming up. He's facing Dustin Poirier in Abu Dhabi in January, potentially for the UFC lightweight title if Khabib retires. And then if not, that'll be for the number one contender spot anyway. And then boxing-wise, it seems increasingly likely he'll face Manny Pacquiao within the next 2 years, and I can't see him postponing that to face someone with a 2-0 record from YouTube. Some might say if the money's right, but he's got a multi-million-dollar whiskey business, so I'm not sure he's in any sort of need to do it for the money.
Thank you very much, Harvey. This is us for now. We'll be back in an hour with the 4 o'clock programme.